What's up, and welcome in, Cyclone fans, to another edition of the Nightcap, the 1-0 Nightcap, that is, after Iowa State uh, survived the elements of the heat. The Cyclone fans survived the ticketing snafu. And
I don't know what the conversation that was going on today. You'd believe a lot of people didn't.
well, I mean, we are all alive to argue about it. And
that is true. Yeah.
Iowa State defeated the Northern Iowa Panther Hawks 30-9 on a 98-degree afternoon at Jack Trice Stadium. Which I'm sure on your side it felt like all of 98 degrees, maybe.
It was approximately 247 degrees in direct sunlight with absolutely no cloud cover whatsoever. It was the hottest. I can honestly say that was the hottest I've ever been at a game. It was unbelievably hot.
Thankfully, the humidity was down. Otherwise, it would.
Yeah, if we had humidity, it would have been. I mean, it wouldn't even hardly been worth it to stay.
I would say that in the tailgate, that has been the most cautious I have been to making sure I drink water.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ordinarily, I am not. I'm not good at drinking water. I don't drink water typically at a tailgate, but I slammed a bottle before I even left the tailgate.
That was the least amount of beers I've drank at a tailgate too in quite some time because of that scenario.
I did not hold back on the beers. I think I cleaned out 10 or 12 of them, but I definitely had some water.
I think I got to 6 beers.
I think I got to 10 and a couple shots.
Damn.
We're having fun. It's tailgating season, bud.
Well, I suppose so, I'm old, so I had to,
precisely 1 year older than me.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have 2 kids at ages you
That's right, Jake. Matthias can't handle his alcohol.
Well, at least I wasn't filming a Hawkeye game.
That's true. It's true. That's true. Jake was at the Iowa game. He actively shunned the Iowa State game in favor of going to Kinnick Stadium. I just want to make sure this narrative is out in the world to know that Jake Bren spent last Saturday.
For a guy that controls his own segments on Channel 5 News, he willingly goes to a lot of Hawkeye games.
Yeah, he goes to a lot of Iowa games. It's just kind of is what it is.
Hawkeye tweets. We got
just Hawkeye tweets. I mean,
Clark.
Oh my gosh,
this guy, Caitlin Clark all day long.
Yeah,
unbelievable. So, in the spirit of Hate Week, we all now will hate on Jake Bren.
Hate on Jake Bren.
This is also it's Hate Iowa Week and it's Hate Jake Bren Week because Hawkeye Jake will go down in flames.
Absolutely. And today's the day we take down Hawkeye Jake.
The funny thing is, he got himself on a Big 12 show on Iowa everywhere, and I see right through the lies.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly fake news. I mean, it seems blatantly obvious to me that Jake has clearly been an Iowa fan this entire time.
And you almost have to really question the efficiency of Channel 5 News as, like, they could literally just roll back the tape from, like, the previous, 10 years of the Iowa offense and play that on their news, and nobody would know the difference.
And nobody would even notice. Like, if you slapped one of that Drew Tate offense from 2008 back in there, I guarantee you nobody would even notice.
I wouldn't.
No way. No.
But, that's why we're sitting here talking on a podcast on YouTube.
I went on Mark Rogers' show earlier today with Corey Breda, and I was stuck and making a point about Iowa and how Kirk Ferentz's teams largely look pretty much the same. You could take one from 2003 and 2023, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference on TV. He's like, oh, back then they had a lot better offense and a lot worse. I was like, dude, they still played the same offense. Like, they don't have Brad Banks now.
Has not changed.
They don't have Brad Banks now, but the X's and O's are still exactly the same. He has not changed that playbook one bit.
The athlete was just a little bit better behind center.
Yeah. Quite a bit better. Brad Banks was a good quarterback.
I want to do a little bit of a recap on Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
And I do have one question that has been burning in my head because as we talked about on the show last week, Levi, you wanted to see the direction of the Iowa State offense, and that popped in my head. I don't know. It was like second quarter, and I didn't really feel like, and I'm willing to give a little bit of a break here just because one, it was hot. People were cramping up. I mean, more so on the defensive side of the ball. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But It was a struggle bus there for a little bit. Thanks to the Jalen Noel punt return there in like the first quarter that got him down the end zone, they snuck one in. But it's a struggle to get the ball to the wide receivers. The run game wasn't opening up a lot of holes. Rocco Beck, it took a little bit for him to find a little bit of leeway there and get some passes going. I mean, he was still taking shots. So like even on that Ben Bremer touchdown in the second half, he got rocked. Yep. So leaving the game on Saturday, do you feel there was a direction on the offense? Because I'm thinking that there wasn't, and I'm also not feeling like we're going to know what that direction is at the end of this week, just based on the opponent that we were playing defensively.
X's and O's, I don't know if I don't think they only had 45 plays on Saturday, which is which is literally not enough to make the minimum play count on NCAA.com to show them as a team statistic. If you go and look up offensive point, like yards per game and stuff like that, Iowa State is not on that list because they did not qualify based on the number of plays.
And they're probably not the only one because of the time.
They're legitimately the only one.
Oh, well,
we're the only one. We're the only team in America that didn't run 50 plays.
Fuck.
And there's a lot of things that factor into that, though. I mean,
pick sixes,
a pick six, and then the other pick happened right before halftime, and they just kicked a field goal right after they went in. They got one offensive play. They come at two interceptions turned into exactly one offensive play. So that's gonna take down your number of offensive plays and stuff like that too. I don't like so X's and O's. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. If you are a We Will Chat subscriber, we will be doing the film room. Tomorrow night we'll be going through watching. I'll have the full game replay up, and we'll go through it play by play and see what we find. We'll go through and look at the X's and O's and see what we find. So if you're not a We Will subscriber in the Discord, I highly recommend doing that. Not only that, because your donation goes entirely to We Will, which is $10 a month. You get Brent Bloom is in that chat as well, so he drops nuggets in there, little nuggets of info. We had found out in the chat that Chase Contreras was the starting kicker like 4 days before it came out anywhere else. It just getting good little nuggets and
nuggets,
yeah, and it's just a fun little chat, and it's a good way to contribute to We Will and just get a little bit of extra benefit on top.
Some might just call it a We Will bomb.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
work on that. I don't know. That's
like a Bloom bomb or something. I don't know. We'll have to
a BB.
Brent
Bloom bomb. BBB.
Wow. Bloom bomb. Oh,
big game boomer. No, that's BGB.
It's BGB. Yeah, big Brent Bloom bomb. BBB. Yeah, no, I already know where you're going. But we are gonna do. I think we're gonna start probably at 7:00 tomorrow night. We're gonna do the film room. We'll go through the full game replay. We'll dig through it and see what we find, and see if there is any X's and O's. I know there's a couple of them that I kind of have off the top of my head that I think. But I think what we did find though, there's a few things I think we found. One, I think we found out that the defense is every bit as good as we thought it was going to be, and then the secondary might actually be better. It did confirm my suspicion though from the off season that the secondary was going to probably try to play more aggressive and try to generate more turnovers by jumping routes and things like that. And the 6th play a game, Jeremiah Cooper jumps an underneath route and takes it to the house. That felt really good. I don't remember the last time we had a pick six. Probably, I don't know, but Kamari Cotton-Moya.
I feel as if that entire first half was the last 2 times John Heacock has faced UNI, it was more of like, I'm sick of your shit. I'm ending this now before it even starts.
Yeah, basically, like John Hancock was completely tired of
the amount of stunts they were running up front, and like
he was calling like exotic blitz packages.
Yeah, and like Caleb Bacon out of all people coming off the edge free because of because of the stunts up front, just confusing the crap out.
And Miles Purchase got his sack by just like pushing the key. He got there and just pushed him over.
When was the last time we had a corner blitz that you can even remember that was impactful, such as a sack? I don't.
They've done them fairly. They've done them more than you think.
But one that's got home, and you're like,
they did them with Anthony Johnson when he was playing at corner. Last year, you didn't see it much, but like especially when they had like the 2021 defense, they did bring some corner blitzes. I know Brian Peavy was one that they brought off.
This was like this was like John Heacock called the game from snap one like it was 3 drives into a
Oh,
normal game
he was
in the
he was
Big 12
calling
slate.
he was calling like this was a playoff game. Like he's just calling stunts. He's just trying to jump routes. He's doing all sorts of crazy
First
shit.
first play of the game, Dominic Orange is
Yeah.
getting up the middle and destroying Theo Day, and he's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
After that, Theo Day was not like even the whole entire
No.
first drive. Theo Day was toast.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So
Scene
that's one thing we
goes-
found out. I think we did get at least a little bit of clarity at a couple spots in offense. Specifically, I think we got a little bit of clarity at running back. I don't think it's 100% settled, but we've got some clarity at running back. And I think we found a couple tight ends. Ben Bramer's touchdown was fantastic. With good play design, running a play action out of the under center, which is notable because under center is a lot easier to sell a play action out of than a shotgun. You're going to get somebody to bite a lot more on that.
That was also one play that I thought, like, in the past, we haven't really seen, like, Tom Manning was forcing plays such as that, but that was like set up by Nate Shieldhouse to have that happen. Like he ran prior to that, it was 3 or 4 plays under center,
right?
That had similar actions and nothing hit like that.
And that's scheming. That's scheming in offense 101. Is you run the same action out of it. You run different actions out of the same formation and become harder to predict. The other thing I think, so at running back, the other tight end is Tyler Moore. Obviously, had a really nice catch and run after the catch. I think that Tyler Moore is a guy that you and I have both been high on, saying, hey, this guy could really, if they can get him on the field, if he can get on the field, he's got a chance. He's an athletic guy. And they have him listed as the H back there, or the F back, whatever. I can't remember. I think they call it F back. If Tyler Moore becomes Kyle Juszczyk, that's perfect. They'll never run with him.
And I think we know that they're going to play 4 tight ends because Gabe Burkle got a catch. So we have 2 freshmen playing significant snaps. Easton Dean was running up the seams on the middle. And I know you don't like Easton Dean, but he had, he was running those seam routes
catches.
perfect.
I get it.
All right. He was doing his job in the offense, and it looked good. And like if you look at like the Ben Bramer touchdown, like from up, like they had the up above camera and the ESPN play, it was really a nice design because he delayed just a tiny bit. The other tight end went across the middle, and then the other linebacker just rolled with him, and it was just boom, done right then and there. So
yeah. Then at running back, I think to me, Cartavius Norton and then clearly Abu Sama, to those two set themselves apart.
Abu Sama has to get the ball in a variety of ways. I don't care how you do it, why you do it. That kid's
electric, man.
He's do it.
That run where he took it outside, stiff armed a dude, juked another dude, stiff armed another dude to the threw him to the ground. He threw 2 dudes to the ground and juked another one, and then finally got tackled like 5 yards later on that. I mean, that was like vintage David Montgomery shit right there.
I hope they can get because obviously, and he's looking to hit the edge on his run plays. And like there was one in the second, it might have been the 4th quarter that he literally strung it completely out to the sideline. Now I think he missed a read inside where he could have cut up and ran.
Yeah.
But
that's a freshman thing that can get fixed on tape.
If we can get some edge blocking for him, I think he's going to do a lot of damage there. And obviously Norton's going to be the guy that's running between the tackles for now. I think Abu is going to be the guy that could do it all and eventually the long run, but they need to find a way against Iowa because Iowa, we have to attack that defense from a multitude of ways, different angles, different up the middle, outside, just beat them everywhere. And Abu Sama is a guy that could probably do it all. Just find a way to get him the ball and just let him go to work.
Yeah. And I think another thing that we did find out too, another thing I'm looking forward to finding in the film room too, is that the passing game did feel a little bit more vertical to me. Like they weren't. I didn't see a lot of bubble screens and cross. I mean, they had some, but like,
and they missed 2 deep shots too. I mean,
that's
they were
really
wide open. It was just a miss.
Rocco had 2 incompletions on the day, I believe, and both of them were like 50-yard bombs that were like 3 feet past the receiver. They were
one
really
was
close.
Jalen Knoll up the sideline,
and the other one I think was it Higgins?
Yeah, it might have been. And that's another thing too. Speaking about getting people the ball, like when Jaden Higgins' first reception of the day, he made like 3 guys miss. He came back across the middle of the field. I'm like, what are you doing? You're running because they needed a first down. Well, he ran towards the middle, stepped back a little bit, then went forward around another dude, and it was like, okay, this guy just needs to get the ball and just let
He's
it
just
go
the
to work.
dude. Yeah, he's just a dude that makes shit happen.
And then he never touched the ball again after that, which
Nope.
is quite unfortunate because
And then you had
we don't
Jalen
even know.
Noel. You had Jalen Noel getting 4 catches for 6 yards.
And he dropped one.
Again. Okay, so Jalen Noel's played a lot of snaps. I think he became the 3rd fastest receiver in history to hit 100 catches, 100 career catches last Saturday.
We're still having hand problems.
And he's just, I don't know if it's a matter of how they're scheming him in this, where they're really just only throwing him underneath stuff and expecting him to do stuff or what. But what I know is that right now, Jalen Noel is not a producing member of the offense right now. Like last season, there was plenty of times where he just felt like he was getting catches because they were throwing it at him, but his receptions weren't accomplishing anything. That's just what it felt like. I mean, I realized he had some touchdowns and stuff like that, but it's what it felt like. And then last Saturday, 4 catches for 6 yards. I mean, they're just throwing them to him underneath and doing nothing basically. He's capable of being a good receiver, but we need to see a lot more. Maybe, and like I said, maybe it's just a matter of them needing to scheme him into the offense better. Maybe that's what it is. But what I do know is that what he has produced recently is not good enough.
And then one thing I will say I'm kind of disappointed in, not disappointed because I think it's just the way the game worked, but we didn't get to see Carson Hansen or Arlen Harris.
I was looking at the
literally 0 snaps were not on the field.
Yeah, I was looking at the participation list, and they're not. Arlen Harris is actually listed as a participant.
I don't.
He must have gotten like 1 snap on special teams or something. But Carson Hansen is not listed here. I don't see.
I mean, that would have been the game to try it out, but it was also, the 45 snaps. There's not a whole lot to go
They just
around.
didn't play much on offense. They ran the ball a shitload of times. I mean, they just kept running the ball.
And I know in like Cyclone Fanatic podcast, other thing forums, saying people are talking about like this is the way Iowa State's gonna have to win. I hope for the sake 45 is not our average.
No, that's not going to be that. There's no way that's the average.
Case
that's not the average. No way.
Because if we're only getting 45 plays a game, and I know that's probably not going to be the number, but let's just say what if Iowa State is only getting 45 plays per game, that's going to be a tough day, I think.
Oh my gosh. If Iowa State's only averaging 50 plays a game or something like that, we're going to have to hope we win a bunch of games 10-7.
And I think this new play or this new clocking system, because it did not shorten the game whatsoever, which everybody had said that since the beginning of time when the
total runtime of the game was the same.
Like it felt like we had more commercials. It was just like,
oh my gosh,
oh God,
the
here we go.
Breaks were unreal.
Every time was 2 minutes and 32 seconds. You can see the guy walk out with the clock. You're like, oh, here we go again.
It's just stupid.
We know it isn't going to work. It's shortening the amount of plays that people have, and let's scrap it. It's scrap it.
They're not gonna because they're charging. They can add more commercial breaks and make more money on it. So they're not gonna change it. But like they should, because there was an unreal amount of stoppages of play for media timeouts, and like you said, there's every time they stop the game, it's we gotta take another 2 minutes or whatever it is, and it's just the second half.
It's amazing how much we don't notice that. Like, I mean, we notice it when
you're watching it on TV. Yeah, like you don't really notice it, but
it's not a big deal. In the stadium, you're like, fuck.
Like, oh my god, just play a game. Just do something. Like, I want to watch football.
I'm gonna touch one more thing on here before we kind of shift gears to a little bit more defense stuff. But JJ Cole didn't seem like the play calling was a lot into his favor, but also he had a lot of I should say deeper routes in his progressions to look through it, and basically became a one-read quarterback and took off running. So based on that, and you could tell in his feet, right? They were bouncing, they were jittery, they were moving around. First game in a big college stadium. I think, and we know that Rocco Beck was basically named the starter today for Iowa and probably will play every snap in this game unless somebody goes horrific.
Right.
But,
I think part of that too is
he just needs a little bit more time.
Yeah, he needs more time. I think part of it too was the low snap count. Like, he was trying to get Rocco in a groove, and like Rocco was playing decently well or whatever. So he's like, let's just keep Rocco in, see what we can do, see if we can get this thing get some momentum for this offense. And I think that was the right call. I think bouncing between those two throughout the day would have been the wrong solution.
This weekend we are about to find out what kind of quarterback Rocco Becht is.
Correct. If he can take care of the football and limit turnovers, one max, like if he can limit that,
because there are two very good safeties that are lining up in the backfield of the Iowa defense.
Yeah,
that are going to test him.
Cooper DeJean's a monster, and and Xavier Wampa. It'd be a tough game for him. I hope that they do keep him out there and let him get going. Now, if he's just bad and he's throwing picks left and right, get him out of there. Whatever. Try JJ Cole or put in the JUCO guy. Whatever you got to do, I guess. But yeah, like you said, I think JJ's just too raw right now.
Kind of feels like the whole goal line package for Tanner Hughes is dead too.
And that's another one. I would say didn't hardly. I mean, they had one goal line situation, and they ended up sneaking it with Rocco. I don't know. To me, I'm not. I wouldn't call that just dead. I wouldn't call that dead just yet. I mean, I think last Saturday was kind of a unique situation where it was just so hot, and it was just a weird low snap count game, and just I that's where I don't think you can take a data point. Like, I don't think you can rule anything out or just based on last week, other than Rocco being the starter.
Yeah. Well, we'll shift here. I got something on the defense here, but Tyler Odienum, absolute freak. Now,
dude's a monster.
He did have, and I could see him right down where we were sitting.
Dude, when he went down with his injury, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, so he went down cramping. You could tell he was cramping up what they were doing to him on the sideline. But my worry is here, I'm not sure the depth behind him is quite up to par just yet. Based on, you could tell when he went out of that game, UNI started moving the ball. And Dominic Orange was rolling in there still. But, it feels like Dominic Orange and Tyler are together, and them two will just be unstoppable whenever they're on the field together. Now, if Tyler Odienum is out for an extended period of time, I don't think the guys I think it's like Samuel Same,
Osame, and Joey Peterson.
Miles Mendezun came in on a couple snaps at the end, and he is tiny.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of size and experience just yet behind Tyler Odienum. Makes me worried a little bit.
You do have J.R. Singleton you can throw in there too.
Yeah, so I'm a little worried about that if he were to get hurt and miss an extended period of time. Thankfully, right now we don't have to worry about that. But
it turns out his big toe was cramping, which is hilarious and also sounds horrible.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that progresses. I mean, these guys are going to get better with more reps and things like that. And I think a lot of the times too, that's why we're going to have the Heacock patented exotic blitzes to help them in that.
I like I said, I don't think Saturday, especially on offense, I don't think you can take a lot from Saturday. Just schematically or whatever. Like I said, kind of got a little bit of a feel at running back, a little bit of a feel at tight end, but other than that, I don't think there's much you can draw from Saturday. We just didn't see enough, and it was just kind of a weird game that they just stayed super, super vanilla. I mean, there was a while I think they ran it like 6 or 7 times in a row. It was just a weird game play calling wise and all that.
Yeah, I think if we didn't have that pick 6 and the 56-yard field goal, it would have been a lot of us coming back and talking here about the super vanilla play of the offense. I think in the grand scheme that we look up the scoreboard and see 30-9, you're like, oh yeah, this is going really well. But then you sit back and watch the offense. Yeah, you sit back and watch the offense. You're like, nothing really impressive there. So
nothing super great. There's plenty to build on though. I mean, there's plenty of stuff I saw in week 1 that could be fixed with a week of game tape that they can improve on. I know, I was listening to to Ben Bruns on Iowa Everywhere podcast a little bit, and he was talking about how he thought the offensive line had some good building blocks there as far as body position and things like that. So I'm not going to pretend to be an offensive line expert or anything like that as far as technique and all that stuff. But I the offensive line having a week of game film, I think is going to be huge for them. So they can see what they all got going on and where they need to be.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be huge, huge, huge for them. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing what the offense is going to be like this week. I realize I was the best defense on the schedule, but I think if they can get some of the stuff figured out and move the ball a little bit against Iowa, I think the trajectory for the offense overall looks good. I need to see a little bit more, but there's some glimmers of hope.
Well, we're about to get baptized real hard and heavy this weekend. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So let's look ahead a little bit to Iowa here. Obviously, Iowa came out guns a-blazing, two quick touchdown passes by Cade McNamara. And then after that, it kind of just got stuck in the mud. 24-14 is their final score against Utah State. Obviously a Power 5, not Power 5, but an FBS G5, level team. G5. So I think for them, you could probably throw that out the window as well. Brian Ferentz is 1 point behind the season average he needs to be.
That's where I'm at with it. I see like a lot of Iowa fans like, oh, we're gonna beat wherever, all this forever. And it's like, dude, you scored 24 points against Utah State. Who do you think you're scoring 20 points?
2.9 yards per carry on the rushing, 5.9 yards per pass.
2.9 yards per carry. And actually that's in one of, because the running back Johnson, he had like 60 something yards rushing on 19 carries, but one of those was a 21 yard run. If you take away that one explosive run, he's at like 40 something yards for 18 carries. Like it's nothing. Like they could not run the ball against Utah State at all. And now they're going to go up against one of the best run stopping units in the country. Like, I don't know. Like, and then you've got Caden McNamara, who is clearly not healthy, not even a little bit. And I thought it looked like he was playing gimpy. And we heard something in the press conference today that Kirk Ferentz said they're not going to let him do anything resembling a run, like a bootleg or a QB sneak or anything. Like they're not doing anything with Cade. His job is going to be to take a few steps back and throw the ball.
I thought I heard Chris Hassel say oblique, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
An oblique. Yeah. So and someone said that it was a quad. I don't know.
There we go, quad. I don't know. I'm thinking baseball right now, right? Yeah, I got baseball on the brain.
What I understand is it's a quad injury or whatever. But whatever it is, Cade is not healthy, and whoever they have behind him is garbage. So, I mean.
If Cade broken Cade McNamara is better than any other option,
right? Like a half broken, a Cade McNamara with 1.5 legs is still better than anything else they got. I mean, if Dominique Orange lands on him one time and knocks the wind out of him, what the hell are they gonna do? Like, I didn't see anything from Iowa last weekend that's like, oh, this offense is fixed.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the game that it's going to be an ugly, scrappy game, just like last year.
It's going to be disgusting.
And we're all just going to have to survive.
It's going to be horrible, an awful
And
game.
Thankfully, it's not 98 degrees this weekend for people in the stadium watching it, and they can at least somewhat enjoy it.
The last forecast I saw said like 83, which is nice.
Yeah, so it should be a nice day. So that would be an interesting storyline, and maybe he's not that injured. I don't know for sure, but it just appears by all things that have been tossed out there and what Iowa fans are talking about, things like that. It just appears that from afar that he is not a healthy quarterback right now.
Yeah.
So just something to monitor.
It looks like they've got a tight end. Eric All apparently looked pretty good. I didn't watch the whole game or anything like that, but what little I did see of Eric All seemed pretty good.
And obviously, we know the defense. We've already touched on it.
Yeah, the defense
is going to be it's going to be good. Special teams are going to be solid.
Speaking of,
how did we complete? I don't
know why we completely botched that, but Iowa State special teams was actually pretty good last Saturday.
Now, devil's advocate.
Okay,
let's relax a little bit. It's one time.
It is currently one data point, which is not
kind of like when you go to your first prom, and you have the first kiss with your girl that you like, and you're like, God, I really hope this happens again, and it may not. For some people, it doesn't.
My counterpoint to that is, when was the last time you saw a special teams be good, even on a 1-game sample size? The Fiesta Bowl, like, that's the last thing I can think of.
I've blacked out a lot to even.
I know exactly. That's exactly right. So, I mean, they did well. Like, Tyler Perkins had like 2 different 70-yard punts. I mean, they had 2 punt returns for 30-yard average. Like, that's a huge average. And one of them turned into a 55-yard field goal. We had a 30-yard return turn into a 55-yard field goal.
That was a interception we had before the 55 yard.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It was an interception return into a 55-yard field goal, though. If that's not the most Kirk Ferentz shit I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. But like, they had a couple really nice punt returns that set them up in good position. They actually returned kicks They returned a couple kicks. They didn't do much with it, but they returned a couple kicks. And then obviously, then that 55-yard field goal by Chase Contreras, which was made confidently. If they can start stringing this, if this is the new Iowa State special teams, then hell yeah. Because what they had 174 yards generated not on offense. So between kick returns, punt returns, and interception returns, they had 174 yards, extra yards, all-purpose yards generated. I mean, that's over half of what they generated on offense. So, I mean, 40% of their all-purpose yards on Saturday were generated on special teams and defense. That is how you win football games. That is how you win the field position battle that Matt Campbell always talks about. I like I said, we got to see it more than one game, but that's not nothing. Like, that's something. They're trying to return the ball. They're trying to return kicks. They're jumping routes to force turnovers. We got a kicker apparently. Like,
need more. Need to see it some more.
Need to see more, but things are looking up. If Iowa State can put together a half decent special teams unit along with this defense, they're going to win some football games.
It helps. Yes.
They're going to win some football games.
Speaking of things that don't help you win football games,
drugs.
No. Well,
gambling. Drugs definitely do. They've been doing drugs forever. Yeah.
Drugs definitely could help.
Drugs definitely can help. Yeah. Gambling?
Let's check this out.
The
wall.
Oh, the glass wall from between the Sukup and the pores.
So I get down there, and I didn't really think anything of it. And I just
so you were sitting next to the wall.
I was sitting next to the wall.
Ah.
And I didn't even really think anything of it because I could see where I was perfectly fine. But I was like, I'll just snap this picture and make a ruckus about this. And I did. But anyways, like, I just got thinking about it. I'm just like, they literally put up this thing to keep beer from flowing back and forth from the Sukup end zone because we're apparently beer Nazis inside Jack Trice Stadium. But then you get home and you see other people complaining about it, like on Facebook. Like, some lady took a picture of her view, like where she took one standing, she took one sitting, and like where she was sitting, like that middle bar that you see there.
Oh, is obstructing her whole view.
Literally, she could see like the top portion of the field and the bottom portion of the field. But like, if a bunch of plays happened in the middle of the field, she wasn't seeing shit.
Fuck.
I'm like, so these people are
so suddenly they created bad seats.
So down in this portion of the stadium, I think a season ticket costs well over $495. That's not including your donation.
Yeah.
So per seat. And so they're paying. So they probably had 2 people. So they got $900 wrapped up in tickets. Or $1,000 wrapped up in tickets, plus their donation, which is another $700. So $1,700 to sit by a glass wall that Cyclone fans paid for.
Yep.
Build the wall, and Cyclone fans are going to pay for it.
Yep.
Now, Jamie Pollard,
like Jack Trice Stadium does not have a bad seat in the joint, but by putting that up, you created bad seats.
And so this person, so there's some emails floating around.
Fancy Rex has got it exactly right. It's a wall to keep the peasants away from the beer. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
I was talking to a couple people at work today, and they're like, we know Jamie Pollard is prideful on this thing. He's not going to let that happen. But at what point, as many people have been clamoring on it, and maybe I've been more vocal about it than some, but I'm just, poking the bear a little bit just because I got nothing else better to do. But at some point, they're going to have to just sell the beer.
I have a theory. I promised you to nobody watching that I have absolutely no inside information here. I think Jamie's going to sell it. I think he's going to have to bend next year. I think he's going to have to. because I think if Sci-Town's up and running,
there's no way around it at this point. Like
there's no way. There's
there.
no way you can avoid it. The entire fan base is like, you need to sell beer to everybody. It is like one of the most unifying things I've seen in a while as far as what the fans want. Is I've not seen one single fan that's like, maybe we shouldn't sell beer. Sell even people like that don't drink are saying we should really be selling beer in the games. Whatever. Sell Ames Lager, sell Clone Fest, sell the Hazy IPA, sell whatever the hell you want. Like, sell those 3 at minimum or whatever. And
we have gotten so prideful on not selling beer that we are literally constructing glass walls.
It's fucking insane. Like the fan base that takes more pride in drinking beer than almost any other fan base in America, maybe more than any other. Maybe
how much you think that thing costs? I mean, it goes up. It goes. How many rows? How many rows are there?
I would guess that each side of that probably costs somewhere in the. It's hard to say. I would guess it probably costs at least no less than 10 grand a side, probably closer to 20 grand per side.
We're spending that money, and more than likely, and I saw in an email that they were discussing taking it down. So now we spent 20 grand.
We just wasted 20 grand on a glass railing.
We're going to take it down after one game.
Fuck me.
And here we are as an institution complaining about, hey, we need to find ways to keep more money, but we're spending 20
yeah.
grand.
It's 2 years ago we were broke because of COVID, and now all of a sudden we can buy $20,000 glass walls to keep the peasants away from the beer. And now we're like, oh, we need to fundraise and we need to do this, and like, it's bullshit.
I know some people probably on Twitter and things like that are like, Matthias just needs to shut up about this stuff, but like, it's literally the gold pot for Iowa State athletics is sitting right in front of Jamie's
and
nose.
Maybe you only profit $1 million or $2 on it or something. Maybe you
$1 million or $2.
$1 million is another $1 million of free revenue that you are just leaving on the table. You could pay for that stupid shit all day and night if you had sold beer, and you wouldn't have to put it up because you wouldn't have to limit where the beer gets sold.
Look at Westo, for instance, right? So NIL beer comes out and it's like, oh yeah, just another beer. But we literally sold out everywhere in the state of Iowa. Just
you couldn't
demolish the supply.
Do you remember the great popcorn, the great Popeyes chicken sandwich craze?
Yes,
a few years ago. Same thing. Where like it came out and everyone's like, I gotta get the damn chicken sandwich, I gotta try it or whatever.
If you build
it was like a status symbol. It was a status symbol to have a case of Ames Lager in your hand and a picture on Twitter. It's a status symbol because you couldn't find it anywhere.
It's gonna keep going. People, Cyclone fans will buy beer.
Absolutely, they will.
And it's not like it's not going to diminish our tailgating. It may have a few extra drunk people in the stadiums that they'll have to take care of. But for the most part, we're not idiots. We've drank plenty of beer at, Big 12 tournaments, things like that. We can handle it. There are always the exception to the rule.
The Alamo Bowl was its own meme for how much beer we drink.
It will be profitable. Just make it happen.
But Matthias, what about the moral high ground? What will we do without the moral high ground?
Well, you know what? The moral high ground is we're building walls and segregating people.
Yeah, we said moral high ground, but only for the rich people, which we will build a glass wall around to make sure that the poors don't get in.
And
it's fucking bullshit.
Save me with the bullshit of like you'll take away the amenities of the Sukup end zone. I don't give a fuck. Rat's ass.
I do not give a fuck. The Sukup end zone. I mean, Steve Sukup. Love that guy. Love the guy. Great ambassador for the school and all that. Being in the end zone club is a status symbol on it.
Even
in its own.
say they close the doors of the south end zone, no alcohol sales inside there. Those seats would still sell out.
Yeah, they would still sell, and there would still be nobody sitting in them. That's the thing that gets me about the whole end zone club.
Like, you can just sell beer within the stadium. Now be fine. You can still have the higher amenities like better food, better
sell liquor in like put a full bar in Sukup and just beer everywhere.
That's your upgrade.
There you go.
Better food and liquor.
There's the upgrade. You get food, you get better food, you get liquor, and you get heat during cold games, and you get AC during warm games. That's your benefit there.
People are not like I've had people all summer
during the game. That section's 30% full anyways. That section is mostly empty anyways.
All summer when I would bring this up, people would say, well, you're taking away the amenities and the reason why people buy those tickets. No, there are still plenty of amenities that sit there and people will still buy them because they can say, look, I spent $750 to get a Soup Cup end zone seat and I'm better than you because
look
I'm
at
an
me.
air
I have a
conditioned.
seat in the Soup Cup end zone club.
Great. All I want to do is buy a $12 beer.
That is literally
the end zone.
Yeah, that's all I want. I want to buy a $12 beer that's the size of a small baby, and I'm going to take it back to my seat, and I'm going to drink it.
All I want to do is have that sit next to a glass wall that I can't see around and have a good time.
Yeah, it's just it's batshit crazy to me. Like the web that Jamie has woven as far just with how you justify some things and not the others makes no fucking sense to me. And it's driving. Like I've been a Jamie defender for a long time, and I think he's earned.
We got people probably doing lines of cocaine out in the parking lot before games.
Absolutely.
About selling beer. Come on.
Meanwhile, Jamie's sitting there in his booth, Busch Light in front of him. Kumbaya. It's just. It's just stupid. It's hypocritical, and I don't understand why Jamie has to pretend to be on this fucking high horse all the time. Like, just be cool for 5 fucking seconds, Jamie. Be cool. Like, you're a good athletic director at managing the actual sports themselves. When it comes to like fan experience and interacting with your fan base, real hit or miss. Like, and I don't. We don't need to go on forever about this.
Oh no! I'm starting now. Speaking of fan experience, how do we continually botch the team entrance?
I don't know. It sucked. It like I didn't think I know you had mentioned in the chat that you thought it was cutting out. I didn't hear it cut out, I guess. But it was
video. The video was dark. It went dark.
Oh, the video was like skipping or something like that. It was dumb.
Yeah. But even
what I do know is that
years before.
Yeah.
Like the first time Matt Campbell had an entrance to this stadium, they had the glass shattering like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everything synced up perfectly. Since that moment, it has been straight downhill. Like they would do the glass shattering, but like the band would be playing over the top of the glass shattering, or the glass shattering would play halfway through the entrance song and it wouldn't mesh up, or the team wouldn't even be standing at the end of the tunnel and they would start running out glass shatter and it was just off. Well, then they went to this next entrance and the song would never start at the right time or this. And how do they go into these games and after they've done like, yeah, I think that went pretty well. No, the entrance has been absolute dog shit for 6 years.
It was really
not hard. Like it's not hard to make a cool entrance. Like literally Virginia Tech stands at the end of a tunnel, play a Metallica song,
and then they walk onto the field.
The students shake the entire stadium, and it's one of the most electrifying entrances to college football.
And all they did was they hit play on a Spotify Metallica song. Like, that's all they do.
We can't get the videos to sync up. We can't get the glass shattering to go off at the right time. The freaking band starts playing too freaking early. We got fire shooting out and covering up noises that way somehow. I don't even know how that's possible. The sirens don't go off at the right time. What is going on?
Not to mention, like the video like the midweek video.
It sounds like shit.
It's dumb. Like the whole entrance is a fucking mess, and it's honestly it's kind of embarrassing. Also, what is also embarrassing is the Soup Cup End Zone Club being 40% full on nationally televised games. That's always super fun.
Not to give Iowa flowers here, but they're back in black. They walk out arms like it's on the video board clear as day, and it looks good.
Yeah.
And we can't even accomplish that. So then their fans are going to come to our stadium and see what monstrosity we have put together. And they're like,
yeah, I mean, it looks stupid. I mean, we look like a fucking G5 school with our entrance and all that. I mean, obviously the more important part is the product on the field or whatever. Like, But
we were talking about in our Slack today, like why, people were complaining about Jamie Pollard saying you have to get to the game at an hour or 45 minutes before, or 1:45 this weekend for the game.
45 minutes.
Somebody was like, well, why would we do that? Well, I go, and you said this too. I go to the game an hour before. You kind of want to watch some of the stuff before, the pregame stuff, the band and all that stuff. People pay to go to those games to see everything from start to finish, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
part of the product that we are paying for is that team entrance. We are literally paying someone to run that video board, and that person cannot do their job correctly. That's a problem.
Well, it's really it's the production of the entire thing. It's really is unorganized. I don't like. I love the band. The pep band's cool or whatever like that, but holy fucking shit, you don't have to play a song every 5 goddamn seconds, and it doesn't have to be over every single important thing in the game. Like, just I don't know. It's I don't
You
even
have to
I don't
with
even know
this
where to direct my
generation-
anger because it's not like Jamie. It's not like Jamie put it
The
himself together. Or like,
generation that we are a part of, and the generation that is younger than us, value production things like that.
Absolutely,
like, it's
they do.
cool.
no doubt.
And if you want to build this Iowa State fan base even further than what has been done here in the last 10, 15 years, you have to do those little things right. And we are absolutely tanking on them. I know it's not that big of a deal, but it's a continuous problem. Like, even the basketball game productions is terrible.
Yeah, I will. Here's an open offer to whoever at Iowa State makes this decision. We here at Wide Right 90 Light we will personally produce an entrance for the football team for free. We will do it, and it will be dope as hell, and it will be way better than what we have, and we will do it for free.
I could
get it
on my goddamn Windows Media program that I put hype tapes together. I could probably put something together better.
And I've mentioned this in the chat a few times. I've got like at least 2 really, really good ideas for entrance that would be hype as shit. And I don't understand why we can't get this right. The basketball entrances suck. The football entrances suck. Like, figure
the clone cones suck.
Fuck you, man. it's ice cream. You know, I don't care. It's like I don't know why we can't figure that out. The game day presentation is just terrible. It's really bad. Even if Matt Campbell's like, oh, I don't really care about this. Great. He doesn't have to be involved then. Like, pick something, like, just do something cool for 1 fucking second. Yeah, like, I don't know why. Like, be cool. Like, I want to like someone to find a video of our entrance and like put it on Twitter and it goes viral because it's sweet as hell. Like, that's
exactly.
That's what I want to happen. Like, I want to be proud of like how our university looks on national TV.
Honestly, some of the stuff they've done in the past can be cool, but the syncing up of the videos and the music and the band and all that stuff has never worked out. If they just take 5 seconds to actually have somebody produce it, it'd be fine.
Yep. Like I said, we'll do it. I'll do it. Whatever.
We'll take payment in beer.
I don't even need that.
And faster ticket processing.
I will take payment in you selling beer in the stadium.
So
congratulations, your payment is you making.
Let's story time it though. How long were you stuck in line on the north end?
Maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, that ain't so bad then.
No, I mean, like,
you were probably dying of heat.
Well, I mean, I was already hot, but like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like an unreasonably long time. It was packed. Like, there was a lot of people there and wherever, but the line was moving along okay. And I went up there, went beep 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 beep.
And how did I miss that we changed the entire ticketing process? Did they announce this?
Yep.
When was this?
Probably a month ago. Yeah, that wasn't a new thing.
Might have been lost in the mountains or something.
Yeah, well, and like, I know my tickets didn't even come with QR codes.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think any of them have them anymore.
Jody wants to know what time I got in line. Because it was a 1 o'clock kick. I got in line probably 12:15.
Yeah, I went through the south end zone at 12:15 and got right in.
Yeah, I went through the north. I went through the north end zone gate 1 at 12:15 ish. Yeah, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most. Okay, so the people that like didn't get in till like the end of the first quarter or something like that, they were probably showing up late to begin with or right at game time. I'm sorry, I don't have a ton of sympathy for you because you were already showing up in time to miss the first part of the game.
Yeah.
That's too late. I was already only 45 minutes early for getting in line, knowing like, and I got up there, I was like, oh shit. whatever. I got in with probably 15, 20 minutes left on before kickoff, which ordinarily I like to get in there more like an hour. But if you're getting there late enough where you're walking in at kickoff or something like that, like I don't have a lot of sympathy for you because you're already essentially going in with the intention to miss the first part of the game. So, that's just kind of a sucks to suck kind of thing, I guess. So you said 12:20 to 12:30. That was when you got in line. Yeah, I guess I don't know. It maybe certain sections of the crowd were moving slower than others. I don't know. Maybe I just found a fast moving section. But yeah, I would say maybe 15, 20 minutes at the most. Probably
like
closer to
herding
15.
cattle. You just got to find the fast lane,
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm not sure what all going on. And as far as that whole ticket situation goes,
I literally had no idea the slow
there's
lines
probably
were happening until
there's probably there's probably a dozen different things that combine to make this problem that combine to produce those really long lines.
It certainly wasn't anybody's particular.
It wasn't any one thing. It wasn't just that some people didn't understand how the Google Apple Wallet thing worked. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just that some of the scanners weren't working, or it wasn't just that there wasn't enough scanners or enough. There was too many people in one gate, and it wasn't just this or just that, or as Jamie Pollard said, it's not just that there wasn't not a lot of staffers at the game or anything like that. It wasn't just any of those things. I will say though that Jamie Pollard's response today on the radio of just get there earlier is probably not the right response. That is, I guess, technically a solution, but like you need to get this thing ironed out so that way we can get this thing moving. If there were scanners that were not working, fix them or get new scanners or get more scanners or whatever. Do something about that. Do as much as you possibly can with what you can control.
Yeah.
August, there you go. Mike posted August 9th is when they sent the email for him.
Okay. I didn't mention, I guess.
So I don't know.
I was surprised when you go up there and you scan your ticket and the fucking the bars rolled down. And then like one person scanned their ticket 3 times and it had to turn 3 times and it almost racks you in the nutsack.
Yeah.
Surprising.
I think it'll get better as we go, as people start getting better at doing it and understanding.
Fun fact, we are not close to Matthias getting it.
No, not really. We got 697 subscribers to get.
And these have to be legit people looking at you, Brownie.
So I think it's going to get better as people get it figured out and as it gets ironed out.
Look, I tell you what, if you get those 697 people, not only will I sit in that little person chair, I will eat a clone cone and I will like it sitting in that little chair.
The moral of the story is Jamie should have said, we're working on it. We're trying to get it figured out, and then just shut the fuck up. Jamie, you don't have to try to explain your way out of every tiny little thing and then accidentally blame your fan base, essentially call your fan base stupid.
Should work on getting a beer right between these things so I can go.
And you know what would make people feel a lot better? A beer, a nice ice cold beer in the stadium would have eased a lot of.
Don't make me feel a lot better. A nice 20-3 victory over Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, nice. Should we do some predictions?
Yeah.
Okay, give me your score. Yeah, just give me your score. There's no who's gonna be your breakout player for the year? Who's gonna be your player of the game? Well, fuck, who knows? It might be fucking Caleb Bacon for all we know.
Last week, I said at the beginning of the season, I said my breakout player was Jeremiah Cooper, and on down the pipe last week, my guy to watch was Dominique Orange. 2 for 2. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for those. I'm gonna say
Slim Pickens at that point,
Good band name, Slim Pickens. Let's go. I'm gonna go 13-10, Iowa State. Yeah, 13-10. I like that.
What's your confidence level at that?
4%. I don't feel good about it. It's It's going to be a stupid, shitty game, and I refuse to pick Iowa to win anything.
Well, in the sake of putting together good game previews, and good, we can take that with a grain of salt and choose your own adventure. 17-14 Iowa.
Fuck you, man. No,
reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology at Iowa State. Reverse your psychology at Iowa State.
We're totally gonna get our asses kicked.
Oh yeah, I mean it's gonna be one of those things. Like to me, either we're gonna win close or Iowa's gonna.
This is like a staple of mine in the
our
Wide
face.
Right Natty Light Slack has just come in like 3 days before. We're gonna get a fucking shit rocked.
Oh my god!
During basketball season. Oh yeah.
So Friday, everybody's gonna be in the Slack saying like, "Oh my god, we're gonna lose by 100," and then Saturday morning, 5:00, Larry will be in there and he'll say, "Guys, boys, we're winning by 3 touchdowns today."
Yeah. Larry,
every time.
Like Jack Trice Stadium could be hit by a nuke built by Oppenheimer himself, and Larry would still
like vibes are immaculate.
Vibes are immaculate. Rocco Becht will throw 4 touchdowns today,
and then he'll tweet at that one crazy lady from the airplane about her feet
and puking and diarrhea everywhere now. Apparently, we're into diarrhea now.
That's gross.
What is wrong? Actually, I do know what is wrong with him.
Just a fundamentally deranged human being.
I don't know where he got it from.
Yeah, I don't know. We got anything else for this? Or
okay, so next week for reals this time, I have a vendor outing that I have to go to tomorrow. So, and Aiden was doing something tomorrow. So
yeah,
Wednesdays and honestly, there's a good chance Aiden may not be back on this show.
Well, this season, after the season, I think he will be.
Possibly, maybe not. We'll see.
We don't know for sure, but right now it's just between Cyclones TV and Iowa everywhere. He's a busy boy.
So we'll be on Wednesdays from now.
Yeah, we'll be on Wednesdays, just to give Aiden the best shot he can to get on.
Then Discord. Tell your friends.
We probably should also say congratulations to Matt Nelson, who I believe tomorrow is going to be having another baby.
I don't know if you're supposed to share that.
Yeah. That's right.
God, you're an asshole.
That's fine.
Wow.
Someone's going to find out at some point.
Way to steal his thunder.
That's right. He'll figure it out.
Did not hear that from us.
He did not. That's we will.
And we are too lazy to go and edit it out of this podcast. So
absolutely,
let it ride.
I'm sure Matt will forgive me.
Well, the thing is, he won't know that you said it until like 4 weeks after.
Yeah. Well, he still has 2 of my Madeline pans, so we're even.
He has 2 of your what?
Madeline? Do you remember when we did the cookout a couple years ago and I made those cornbread Madelines? They're like little like.
Oh, Madeline pans.
Pans. What'd you think?
I thought you said Madeline pants. Like, what the fuck are those?
Madeline pants. I don't even know.
He's wearing your pants?
He's got my pants.
TS, our Twitter butter, he's no longer existing on the one that spewed my address everywhere. Is that the one we're talking about?
What a piece of shit.
Speaking of Twitterverse, how glad are we that we missed that 0-12 floor?
Yeah. Mathematically, the floor is now 1-11.
It's gone. It's not possible.
It only took dissipated into thin air.
Yeah, the guy is gone. Well, he was about to get destroyed by me because we had a I'm not gonna say who, but we had a nice individual that reverse doxed the doxer, and may have found some information on the guy that was spewing my private information everywhere. And we had basically this guy was humping a dolphin in a picture. I had it. I still have it, so we could wreck this guy. Or I could make it look like he was humping a dolphin. Either way, he'd be toast. Done.
Whatever floats your goat, man.
How was your guys' NFL fantasy draft? There, I got Brock Purdy, so I'm the best NFL drafter of all time.
I feel all right. Mine's a lot of like sleeper picks. Like my receiving core is like Sky Moore, Jordan Addison, I got those on the bench. No, Sky Moore is my flex.
Ooh. Well, I think he'll take
Sky
a step
Moore
forward in their offense this year, but
Sky Moore is going to be awesome. And then I picked up Jonathan Taylor in like the 10th round or something like that.
Put him on your. Do you have an IR?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Do you have an IR on your league?
Yeah.
Put him on your IR and just let him chill.
He's just because I thought he's healthy now.
Yeah, but he's not going to play right now.
Just because of his contract situation.
Yeah, I don't know if he's even like practicing.
Oh, I'm gonna stash him on the IR. Oh, actually, I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. It's all right. I mean, I've got other options. So I've got my starters.
There's
right
a good
now.
chance he may not even play it down for the Colts this year, which would also be a
that's fine.
poor choice, considering he's a running back.
I've got Josh Allen. My starting lineup currently is Josh Allen, Breece Hall, James Cook, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Dallas Goedert, Sky Moore, the Bengals D, and Tyler Bass.
Okay, I love Breece Hall, but if somebody's taking Breece Hall in the first round of the
no, he's not first round.
They just want him. Like if he was healthy all last year, he probably would have been worth it. But the first 2 games, they're going to probably split 50-50 carries between him and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, well, they'll start that way, but then they'll lean Breece.
Yeah, correct. But I mean.
So that like taking Breece was a pick. Like this guy's, it's gonna really pay off later in the season. Same as Jonathan Taylor.
I got like 4 starters in week 13 on my team, which by then my theory is I'm either in them or out by then. So
yeah, I mean I've got the Jets D, I've got Jordan Addison, I've got Allen Lazard, I got Brock Purdy, I've got Tank Bigsby, I've got some like
Cubs just tied the game again. Oh shit! I have it on the wrong screen. No wonder I didn't see that.
I'm feeling all right about my lineup. I've got some good sleepers there that I think are going to develop into something. Devontae Adams and Deebo Samuel are dependable options. Breece Hall is going to eventually become full. He's going to eventually be healthy and be a really, really good fantasy guy. Hopefully the Jonathan Taylor situation gets figured out, and then I'll have Breece Hall and Jonathan Taylor.
I got Brock Purdy on the bench. Justin Fields as my starter. So
fuck that.
George Kittle. So I got the George and Brock show going.
Did George Kittle go super late in your draft like he went in mine?
I want to say I got him in the 4th or 5th or 6th round.
Dude, George Kittle went like in the 11th round in my draft.
Boy, I need to be in your draft.
Yeah. I had Dallas Goedert. He's fine.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, he's fine. That's what it is. I'm feeling good about my receivers though. Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Sky Moore. Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Kirk
and then Jordan Addison on the bench. Hell yeah.
Boo. Boo.
This is why nobody likes Viking fans.
This is the I'm willing to put my life savings on that the Vikings take a
quarterback.
Significant step backwards this year.
Well, they got super lucky last year, so
got a lot of 1-score wins.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than not. I don't know. NFC North's going to be real interesting this year because I feel like as much hype as there is on the Lions, like they're just going to lie in it. And probably the Vikings end up winning the division. I don't know. I just, at this point, like for me and my Bears fandom, like I feel like they're still another year or 2 away. And then I just want impending doom to the Green Bay Packers at that point.
Yep. All right.
Jordan Love sucks balls.
So
manifesting it.
Let's wrap her up, and everybody can look forward to on Saturday seeing Iowa run stretch left for the first play of the game.
I think we might do a live post-game show after the game on Saturday.
That'd be dope.
Because I, unfortunately, will not be in Ames, Iowa this weekend.
What a fucking loser.
As of now, to be determined. But if I am not, there will be a live show afterwards.
On this, or are you gonna do video, or are you gonna do
video?
Oh shit!
It might be from the garage with beer. I think you can do StreamYard on an iPad.
If we win, you better do StreamYard and just be completely hammered.
Can you do StreamYard on an iPad?
I don't know.
I really don't want to come down here and do it.
Yeah, you can. I've done it on an iPhone before.
So I'll get the earbuds in, and then we will just put the iPad on. I don't care what I look like, because by then we'll all be shit-faced anyways. And if Iowa State wins, we will do a live post-game show.
There you go. All right.
Oh, you're actually going to
what
a
are you
wedding,
buzzing
Brownie?
for? Why are you buzzing?
Am I buzzing?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's get off. This is horrible radio. Like
You're horrible radio.
Yeah.
All right. For Levi Stevenson, Matthias Schwarzkopf, and Aiden and Spirit. What the fuck? We will see you guys next week.